I have been tirelessly toiling day and night to put this video out as soon as possible. For all I knew, somebody could have easily beaten me to the punch without warning. If you're like me and you follow YouTubers who like to play Mario games, you've probably noticed a massive influx of videos lately that have been going through the motions of completing entire Mario games with some interesting restrictions. The ones that seem to have been taken off all have to do with the prospect of Mario being able to rescue his airheaded princess while being flat broke, deliberately avoiding any and all coins. Admittedly, I might be late to the party, but one of the first games to have videos of this nature was the original Super Mario Bros. After doing a quick search, it's plain to see that 500 points is the lowest score that can be obtained in an any percent run of the classic of classics. More on that in a future video. Anyway, from watching these videos we can see that none of those points were awarded from the player collecting coins. So a coinless run of the original Super Mario Bros. Game is easily possible. But what about its Japan exclusive direct follow-up? The Japanese version of Super Mario Bros. 2, known to the rest of the world as The Lost Levels, plays just like the first game with the same game mechanics you're used to, but with infamously harder levels and a few backward warp zones here and there for good measure. Interestingly, nobody seems to know or perhaps care if this underrated game can be beaten coinless. However, I wanted to find out for myself, so I quickly bought it off the Wii U Virtual Console store so I could play it in glorious HD. That, and I needed save states for reasons that'll become very clear very soon. So the main quest on the Lost Levels has 32 levels to play through, the exact same as in the first game, with 8 worlds consisting of 4 levels each. The warp zones are slightly different, but I'm not interested in that just yet. For now, I just want to play through every level available to us to see if we can pass it while avoiding getting rich quick. Mario or Luigi? I think I'll pick Mario for this one. He plays just like you did in SM Bros 1, so at least I know what I'm getting into. Let's go! World 1-1. I swear, if this ends up like Mario Galaxy 2 where I got stopped in the third fucking galaxy with no other way to advance the game... Oh, never mind, there's nothing to see here, aside from a couple cases of inconvenient enemy placement. World 1-2 is really freaking easy if you run atop the ceiling here. You can avoid having to deal with everything. World 1-3. Oh. Can you say annoying? Well, this certainly looks possible, but I'm already having trouble containing my sanity. First, you have to make some very precise hops across those grass pads, but then a pair of flying squids just decided to get in your way. I don't know how I figured this out. I had to dash at the right moment, jump on one edge of the grass pad, and then very precariously land in between those stupid bloopers at the other edge. And for all that, I still needed enough speed to reach that pulley-type contraption. Ugh. Seriously, another grass pad laced with coins? Can't I catch a break? Well, after all that bullshit in World 1-3, World 1-4 is uninteresting in every sense of the word. There's like 0 coins here. Next. Let's try World 2-1. Pretty simple, really. Just dodge a couple enemies here and there and whee! Oh, hello there, completely random Goombas right near the flagpole. I'll take that, thank you very much. World 2-2, blah blah blah. Oh, more of those tight jumps I see. You know, it's times like these when I realize I may have to call on some friends from the other side to get past these coins. By that I mean, at first I was just trying to catch the corner of this block here and perform a wall jump glitch off of it, but then... Yeah, I just made the jump. Can you say mind blown? Oh, here it comes, leap of faith. Fuck. Well, you see, you're supposed to use a couple of hidden blocks to reach this pipe that would otherwise be out of any sane person's reach, but then... Whoops. This is where my aforementioned sorcery comes into play. If you jump as high as you can and clip the very corner of one of these blocks, you can get an additional jump off that brick like a bouse. There, problem solved. World 2-3 is pretty easy, just make sure you let this red guy pass before proceeding. Or you can kill it, that works too. World 2-4, surprise, no coins. Hooray. By the way, you might have noticed that I'm always playing a small Mario in this video. Well, I feel it's beneficial to me for the nature of this experiment, and because I'm about to run into some absolutely stupid level design ideas for which this game is so infamous. More on that later. World 3-1 is not very interesting, just drop below these platforms in Noguchi. World 3-2 is my first dreadful level because it takes place underwater! Well, there aren't many places here that threaten to shove the bling in your face, but where there's coins, there are also those goddamn bloopers. I suppose in retrospect, that last level would have been a good place to power up, but I was so concerned about leaving my coin counter completely blank that I just wanted to get past that stupid level design. And eventually I did clear it. But then I ran into this. Well, shit. Who is the troll that places these coins like this? Just tantalizing me with a tiny space that looks like you can swim through it and dodge all the coins, but honestly I've never been able to, because getting through this area just does not work with the way Mario controls underwater. I swear I was mashing the jump button as fast as I could, and you can hear the game playing all those jump cues. But the rate at which he flows up is incredibly inconsistent with my button mashing. You can't jump over this area because I guess the water has a ceiling now. I don't know if there's some kind of respawn glitch that would allow us to pop up at the halfway marker since it's just past this row of coins. I imagine getting past this area without touching a coin might be possible tool assisted. I figure someone like Happy would be able to either jump infinitely at the right moment or, again, clip right through this wall or something. But for now, I'm calling this level practically impossible. We just can't avoid like 2 of these coins. So with that, the way this game works is that since we can't complete 3-2 coinless, we can't even access the rest of World 3, but even then our troubles wouldn't be over, because World 3-3 has more of that evil coin placement that actually proved to also be impossible for me to dodge, and World 3-4 is a wolf in sheep's clothing, because it looks completely devoid of riches just like every other castle, but then you come across this jump that you need to make in order to advance the level, but no matter what I tried, I just couldn't pull it off. Okay, for clarification, World 3-4 is one of those maze levels where you have to take a very specific path across several different sections full of multiple floors, but if you go the wrong way, the stage just loops. As far as not collecting any coins goes, most of the stage is pretty painless until you get to the second maze where you first need to jump to the highest level and then stay on the top path, so you'd think the only way is to make this stupidly tight jump, but absolutely nothing I tried worked. Instead, there's another bunch of hidden blocks just before this part that you need to hit in order to get up there, but of course that gives us more of those evil coins and we can't have that. Regardless, I've only reached World 3-2 and already come across several coins I could never avoid, and it only got worse from there, so what do we do? Well, we can still access World 4. Remember those warp zones? This may be the sequel to Mario 1, but we can still warp there right from the get-go. To do that, we'll go back to World 1-2, ride this lift so we can get high enough to jump above the standard exit, and then take this pipe. Now, it's a bit of a tight jump to avoid these coins, but that can be done with relative ease. Once past that ordeal, run across this small gap, get rid of this Koopa, and... well, this is a problem. This is basically the World 2-2 dilemma all over again, except here the wall is so high up it might give our mustachioed former plumber vertigo just from standing up there. So, how do we work around this? We could try another wall clip trick. Watching people speedrun Mario 1 has given me the impression that pretty much anyone can clip through walls without frame-by-frame play if they believe hard enough. This just looks really complicated though, and I was unfortunately unable to replicate Happy Lee's antics. Our only remaining option is to wall jump up there. But after running towards the wall at every conceivable angle, getting past the 95% of attempts that didn't make it at all, I could never get the height required to clear the wall. And there's no other warp that takes us past World 3 until you get to World 5 in the first place. But since we can't get past World 3, that means we're stuck. Mission failed. What, you really thought I was that stupid? Remember the title screen that gave us a choice between Mario and Luigi? So I really only meant to say that Mario couldn't jump high enough to get there, but Luigi can jump higher, so... And no, as far as I can tell, there's no way to use Luigi's enhanced jump to get past the unavoidable coins in World 3-2. So for now, I'm stuck trying to pull off this frame-perfect jump off that wall, but for some reason, this is proving much more difficult than before. I guess his banana peel shoes are getting in the way or something like that. Oh, never mind, we good. Welcome to World 4-1. I bet nobody else has ever made it this far coinless. This place is like no coins floating around. They're all hidden in these question mark boxes that I had to remind myself not to bust open. World 4-2 is pretty much the same deal, nothing to see here. World 4-3 is one of those athletic stages, but suspiciously enough is not very threatening to us with very few coins that can be effortlessly avoided. Oh, fuck, I spoke too soon. Seriously, these coins atop mushroom pad traps are getting way too old way too quickly. Here, the problem was finding a way to stomp on this Koopa and then pull off more of those precarious jumps like in World 1-3. Thankfully, I found a viable solution, and I got rewarded for my efforts with very few feasibly avoidable coins through the rest of the level, even the ones right near the pulley, since Luigi was able to simply hop super high over them. Just be sure to never, ever, ever take these pads on the top of the screen and you're golden. World 4-4, well, what can I say? Another castle stage with pretty much no coins to worry about. Well, there is this hidden block you can accidentally bump into from the lowest floor, but at least it's not a maze level. But with that, we're already halfway to our precious princess, and our pockets are still completely empty. With that, we advance to World 5-1, and it's pretty boring. Again. The wind doesn't help matters much since there's nothing to avoid while hopping across these high platforms. These coins may look a little tricky since there is a piranha plant on the attack that forces a jump, but they're not all that bad. Now let's finish this level. Oh wait, I can super jump over this. Thanks, Koopa. In World 5-2, you have the option of waiting for these Koopas to pass before running under, or just hopping over them altogether, but after that you gotta take some very specific routes, like this tiny underpass that only small luggy can fit through. And then you gotta ride these lifts above the stage so you're not forced to land on the crummy yellow monies. You could then continue straight to that warp zone up ahead, but for now we'll take this pipe to World 5-3 and immediately be treated to another one of those looping stages. So the level continues down this pipe where... Nope. I was trying to see if I could maybe wall jump above all that bullshit below, but in the end it doesn't even matter since going above is a death trap.
I refuse to let these coins show me the way.
You know, I have a better idea. I need to get out of World 5, but to do that I need to go back to World 5 in the first place. You know what that means? You know how it feels to be forced to pull off the same sorcery to skip those otherwise forced coins all over again? No wonder I'm the only one who ever plays this game. Wait, did he momentarily pass through that wall? Luckily, when we finally make it back to World 5-1, we're able to access a completely free warp to World 6. It's weird because I've never used this warp zone before, and watching a preview of the area leading to the warp, I was initially afraid that I'd be forced to touch these coins because it looked like there was nothing available to ride over and under them. But wouldn't you know it, there's a mushroom cloud just waiting for us. Hooray! By the way, in case you are curious, World 5-4 is another castle level, not very interesting, you get the goddamn point. On to World 6-1, where, oh no, for crying out loud. Not to worry, this simply calls for another one of those wicked wall clip spells. Or, you know, that works too. Ugh, this idiotic wins sometimes. No, once you're past that pipe ordeal, this level's pretty much history. World 6-2, oh yay, another underwater level. Are there any more of those stupidly placed coins I should know about? Of course there are, that's how these levels should always work. And then those fucking bloopers love to get in your way too. Seriously, there's a reason why I absolutely loathe those underwater levels. Somehow I managed to get through the stage unscathed, and still unable to grab a bite. Poor Luigi must be starving. World 6-3 is not all that bad, but like several of those athletic stages before, the presence of enemies that sneakily encourage us to jump straight into instant wealth is once again slightly troublesome, but nothing that the determined Luigi couldn't solve. For you see, Mario was too busy counting his coins back at home to notice that there was a princess in need of rescue, because he's not really a hero, as we all know. But Luigi, being the bright younger former plumber he is, was brave enough to embark on this incredibly dangerous quest, confront the easily misunderstood Bowser, and most importantly, refuse every last source of income the game tried to throw at him. We just got another fake castle level in World 6-4 to easily evade, due to there once again being pretty much 0 coins to avoid, and there you go. We're now just 2 worlds away from beating the lost levels without collecting a single coin. So just how hard exactly is World 7? As far as level design goes, well, yeah, pretty difficult, but as far as coins? Well, you take this pipe way up there, thankfully all the coins are way above ground this time, you go through the rest of the stage, avoid a couple bullet bills here and there, then they're forced down this pipe because the wall is the dead end, and... wait a minute, that's not the right path. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I need to stop rambling while I'm ahead. But hey, the rest of the level is pretty easy. World 7-2. Hey, this is just World 3-2 all over again. Am I gonna run into more of those bullshit coins? Oh, I guess not. Oh hi, Lakitu, bye-bye. Oh hi again, Lakitu, bye-bye. Done. World 7-3 reminds me a lot of the dreaded World C3, but thankfully there are once again no coins to worry about, at least until the very end of the level. But even then you can easily skyrocket over those evil bastards. After that malarkey is the extremely tricky World 7-4, where if you can get past its several instances of annoying level design that don't really work with the way Lucky controls in this game, you can defeat the final fake Bowser and not risk running into a single coin. Seriously, not one candy-coated gold piece to be founded here. I thought Bowser was all about fucking up our run in the most mentally challenged way possible. Anyway, we've made it this far, guys. World 8, the final frontier. This is the world that makes or breaks our coinless quest. There's nowhere else to go, so if we get stopped beyond this point by a coin that proves unavoidable, then that's it. Luigi will just have to accept a lifestyle stricken by a dose of Mario's affluenza. World 8-1 features way too many question mark boxes, more of that godforsaken wind, a very precise hop, skip, and a jump on the heads of some unfortunate bystanding Koopas. Oh hi, Hammer Brothers. Oh, don't worry, I'll let you live. More like I'll leave you there to rot in a level that's now a thing of the past. In World 8-2, usually you just stay down there and mind your business, but this pipe seems awfully high to reach, but no, it's definitely reachable with a running start, at least for Luigi. That block above the Koopa is actually the way out of this level, but if you miss that exit, you're forced to take this pipe leading into a dark cave which, thank God, doesn't punish you with force-fed riches. Anyway, once you've entered that mystical world above the clouds, you're free to move on to World 8-3. Now we're entering the home stretch. This might just be the hardest stage in the game in terms of level design, but does it threaten us with any horrendous coin placement? Let's find out. Huh. It seems suspiciously empty. Oh, there they are. Yeah, this level may or may not have a few hidden blocks in various spots. Actually, they're real bricks full of coins camouflaged with the fortress walls. Many of them are probably hiding above the spots where you'll be jumping to avoid those Hammer Brothers, and you need to jump on 2 more of them to reach that pulley platform up there. And thank God those blocks are actually there to begin with, because if they weren't, and they were indeed hidden blocks, I was afraid that might have put a grinding halt to this coinless run. You know, when I got to this point, I started to consider the port of this game from Super Mario All-Stars, where I thought I remembered these blocks to be actually hidden. And you know what? They are. Imagine if it worked out like that when the game initially came out in 1986. We'd have been forced to shamefully bust open that block to reveal a poison mushroom. Okay, never mind, I guess we were safe all along. In any case, I'm at the final showdown, the ultimate stage of the Lost Levels, World 8-4. Could it be that this game with its infamously ridiculous level design choices can actually be beaten without being able to afford the bus ride home? Let's find out. Well, no coins there. Nothing doing there either. And this part is way too empty. Next. Oh hey, things to avoid. Cool. Alright, let's finish this. What, you thought that was the real Bowser? No, he learned something from his mistakes in Mario 1 and had the decency to up the security in this layer this time around. Oh hi, random Muzzy Beetle. Die. Alright, let's really finish this. Wow, that was anticlimactic. But anyway, go through the store, and what do you know? Luigi has rescued his precious princess that at least looks like a princess this time. I mean, damn, judging from her appearance in SM Bros 1, I'm glad the devs made some graphical improvements. But the best part of all this, of course, is that after toiling through 8, or more like 5, grueling worlds full of opportunities to get rich quick, he still can't even afford a snack from the gas station for the ride home. We have an answer to our million-dollar question that I'm positively happy to report. Yes, it is possible to beat Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels without collecting any coins. Hooray! It wasn't easy by any means, and it certainly won't be easy for anyone who tries to pull this off in a real run because of a few tight jumps here and there and those oh so terribly precise wall jump glitches. Oh, and unless you can figure out how to pass through this wall instead, this will probably only succeed with Luggy. Sorry, Mayro. But with that said, let me know if you enjoyed this video or otherwise what you hated about... Yeah, we're not done here. Contrary to the beliefs of many hardcore Super Mario World fans out there, I'm sure, The Lost Levels was actually the first in the main platforming series to feature super hidden bonus stages for completionists to uncover. 5 worlds worth of secret stages. In its original Famicom release, 4 of them are accessible only after you've beaten the main quest 8 times. But before I uncover the secrets of the 4 extra hard bonus worlds, let's talk about the Minus World. No, not that Minus World. In the original Super Mario Bros., using a perfectly placed jump to pass through this wall and then take the warp pipe before the game can load the warp zone text, instead of warping ahead 3 worlds, the game would take the player to a level that wasn't supposed to exist. World blank 1. I'm not so sure that 1 is supposed to be indicative of the world we're in. I know it looks like World Minus 1, but, you know, when performed on an American NES console, the Minus World looks like a clone of an actual level, but taking this pipe will only send the player back to the beginning, and this goes on until they run out of lives. However, on a Japanese Famicom, the result of pulling off the Minus World glitch is a lot more interesting. Again, it looks a little like a real level from the game, but it controls underwater and there's weird random sprites floating all over the place. The player can play through 3 such levels, after which the game abruptly ends. Shortly after the first game's release, Mario's creator Shigeru Miyamoto noticed a buzz regarding this glitch and upon development of the Lost Levels, took inspiration from the trippy levels found in the Japanese version of the Minus World and added World 9 to the end of the game, chock full of levels that try their best to look like they weren't supposed to exist, as another Easter egg for completionists to uncover. This wacky world is accessible only by playing straight through the main quest without using any warp zones. I set out to unlock World 9 for myself so that I could find out, just for shiggles, if we can play it through coinless. Well, right off the bat it can get a little nerve-wracking as you're immediately reduced to 1 life, no matter how many you saved after defeating Bowser. But then again, it's still relatively easy compared to the rest of the game, so if you got to this point you probably didn't need all those lives anyway. But once you've gotten past that, yeah, it's totally possible to avoid all the coins in this world. There's like hardly any coins throughout the 4 stages. You could stay coinless in World 9 for days if you want to do. Once you cleared all the stages, you get to clear them all over again and you just keep going until you die. And here I am bringing this all up as if there were a catch. It may be possible to beat the main quest coinless, but doing so requires us to use some warp zones in order to avoid stages with coins that are otherwise unavoidable, thereby preventing access to World 9. This means it's sadly not possible to enter World 9 completely coinless. We must have previously been forced to pick up at least 3 coins from World 3, and who knows how many from that god-awful death trap in World 5-3. Okay, now let's get to those challenging bonus worlds. These levels make up their own separate quest, which starts from World A and ends at World D. It even features its own epic final Bowser showdown and plays the endgame sequence all over again upon completing World D4. Not to worry in the slightest though. This quest has absolutely nothing to do with the journey through the 8 main worlds, so if for whatever reason we can't complete this side quest and stay flat broke, it won't take away from our previous cashless accomplishment. It would be a nice bonus if we managed to pull it off again, however, and now that I've beaten the main quest 8 times, I finally get to prove once and for all if a coinless run of the bonus quest can be done. Let's go! As soon as the dumb thing loads. World A1 gives you a good indication of how much harder this quest is going to be in terms of level design. If World 1 courses are as hard as World 8 courses from the first game, then the World A stages are on par with the World 8 stages from this game. But regarding avoiding all the coins, it's pretty simple. Just hop across all these Koopas and you're... Hang on a minute. Just hop across these Koopas and... Really? Just hop across these... Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay, you know what? Just jump on these pedestals very slowly and kill off these Koopas one at a time before hopping to the next one. There, you happy? World A2 is more of the same, except here there are like 0 coins in your way. You can speedrun through this level if you like. Here we are in World A3, and wouldn't you know it, already we run into a problem. The first few jumps are not all that difficult to make. Sure, there are a few coins placed in trouble with some spots, but those are easy enough to avoid with a well-timed jump. But then you're forced to make this jump, where there's a small row of coins that completely inhabits the cloud above us. The problem here is that the cloud is just too high for Mario to jump over. He just doesn't get enough height in this jump to clear the cloud, but that's the only feasible way to get from here to there. Seriously, every time I try to jump as high as possible, he just lands on the cloud and gets force-fed 2 or 3 of those stupid coins. Now I could just skip the level, take the warp zone to World B and call it a day, but you may have noticed that I was playing as Mario all over again. Yeah, I probably gave Luigi a lot of love for his completion of the main quest, and I wanted to see if Mario could cash in on that glory by playing through the bonus quest coinless. But then I realized that Luigi is more than a worthy hero. He's actually our secret weapon. Sure, his slippery nature and slow acceleration make him more difficult to control, but for the purpose of our experiment, his superior jumping ability makes him the perfect fit. Okay, so we're back in World A3 with Luigi after getting hung up on this jump here. My hypothesis was that he'd be able to clear with the extra height from his jump, and wouldn't you know it, I proved myself right. So once we're past that, we can move on to another dumb coin trap? That's a lot of coins in a row right there. It would be a shame if not even Luigi's jump was long enough to clear it. Seriously, I tried for quite some time to jump over them all because it looked enough like it was possible every time I managed to avoid all but the very last coin or be forced to pick up the first one and then dodge the rest. Unfortunately, it turned out to be more than poor Luigi could handle. My heart broke when this happened. And then it happened again, after which I seemed to consistently miss out on my goal by a lot. So, what now? Well, the answer to this mystery lies in none other than the fucking fish. No, not that fucking fish. These annoying enemies have been hopping around all over the stage, and every time one appears, it seems to follow our heroic former plumber wherever he is. So if we could get one to hop into the right position at the right time, perhaps we could jump off of it and get a boost over the remaining coins. I mean, with the ridiculous height they can get, I'm convinced this is possible. Remember that dumb shit we had to pull off in World 1-3 involving that stupid squid? What do we call this, aquatic acrobatic parkours? Oh look, I got it, yay. Time to take down fake Bowser. And it's another one of those castle levels, so this should be a piece of cake. Oh good, it is. Time to have a mushroom guy tell me to f*** off, the princess isn't here. Now let's take a look at World B1. Well, those are hidden blocks. Okay, I'll try to be more careful here. Oh shit, more invisible blocks. Here we go. Whee! Now let's look at World B2, and wouldn't you know it, another damn underwater level. What horrors await me this time? Well, more bloopers for one, and... oh, come on. They really expect me to swim past that? Well, maybe if I mash the A button, it might work. Well, let's just camp out here until after this fish passes by. Go now. Fuck! Am I not mashing A hard enough? Oh my god, how hard is it to swim through this huge gap? These controls are absolute garbage. And now this goddamn blooper has to start chasing me. When can I catch a break? I swear if this fire bar kills me. Ugh, that had better be the last of the underwater levels. World B3. Whee! Oh, are we gonna do it again? No? Okay, guess not. Let's see if World B4 is just as interesting. Oh, okay, it's another castle level. Okay, careful. 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 Shit. Okay, careful. Again, careful. I know, that pipe leads us directly to World D, but we're better than that. We're exploring the whole game. Why? Because World C1 is so easy I can speedrun it if I wanted to. Well, as soon as I can figure out how to approach these Koopas, and goddammit, more stupid level design. Oh great, now that Koopa's too high to get up there. Okay, forget the speedrun plan. But don't worry, you won't run into any coins. And I guess now I absolutely need this Koopa to get across. World C2. Damn it, now this blooper's in my way.
Get off me!
Oh, there we go. Shit. The rest of it ain't that bad. God, why do I keep jinxing myself? Oh my god, now I'm up shit creek without a paddle. And that means I'm paddling through the shit with my hands. It may be another case of overly precise, but through like a half hour of trial and error as well as some really close calls that ended on a sour note, this part is still somehow possible. But after all that, whee! And thank God we can just jump over this pulley platform. I swear, if that was going to end up being another roadblock, I might have thrown my imaginary Famicom controller at the screen in frustration. Okay, good. We're at the big one, guys. World C3. Legend has it that this is the absolute hardest level in the game. Well, I know World A3 was also apparently in contention for that title, but eventually I managed to speedrun A3 perfectly, and that was after a couple of minutes of practice. So if it's not A3, then I guess I'll take your word for it. Oh, I see. I get to this mushroom platform, forced to make a run for it, and I fall to my death. I mean, I would have thought there'd be another springy thingy past all these pipes, so... I'm serious, that leads me straight into nothing. Where the fuck do I go? There's gotta be some secret exit in one of these pipes. There's not? Then how the shit do I get out of here? Are you telling me I have to hit the springboard way back here at top speed just so I can clear all this nonsense and reach that platform way over there when there's probably not a chance in hell I'll ever make that jump? Oh, now there's a springboard. Well shit, you want to talk about technical difficulties? Well here's one that's Limerick's stinking life-threatening. Gee willikers. Wind and springboards. A match made in hell. Now let's get the hell out of here. World C4 just might be even harder than World C3, and you wanna know why? Well, after starkly reminding me of World 7-4 at first, because of course it does. You remember those tiny spaces that you had to fit through while at the same time passing under those fire bars? Here the spaces are even tighter and you don't have a second to waste. Well, the first time you can catch a break, but the second time is where things start to get really claustrophobic. Those tiny quarters where you used to be able to hide have been blocked off entirely, so anywhere you go exposes you to the fire bar. Like, you have to have just the right timing to sneak under that fire bar just in time, and you have to do it in one go. For Mario, that might be a little more manageable because he has better traction, but of course we're not playing as Mario. Well damn, we're never safe here. This is a death trap. Someone is really paranoid. Like, how do I approach this? But if I run right away, I'll ram right into the wall and we can't have that. Oh, there we go. Wow, that was way too close. You know, just getting here has made me paranoid. I got a save state here, I'm sorry. But even after all that, we're through to World D and still penniless, so yeah, that's something. World D1 is up, and unless you just suck at avoiding the many question mark boxes across the stage, you should be fine. Well, it has a few quirks that make it a bit of a challenge in terms of level design, but it's nothing like World C3 was. World D2 is, well, just about completely empty. There are like no coins here. Just watch out for this jump at the end. That's what the tiny platform is doing there. You can see Luigi had just barely enough height to make it to the flagpole. World D3 is kind of a mix between the last two stages. Insanely difficult as far as level design, but just about devoid of riches. Once we reach the flagpole, we've reached the ultimate stage once again, World D4. Time to rescue our precious princess. Oh look, it's another castle level. And strangely enough, it bears a striking resemblance to our good friend World 8-4. Yeah, remember the end of our other quest? No coins in sight to stop us at the final hurdle. Well, isn't this our lucky days? So this time it's the pipe to the far right of the first area that takes us to, outside the castle? Whatever, I'm familiar enough with virtual reality plots to not be too fazed by the scenery. Now let's get to Bowser. What? The game chooses now to bombard me with coins? Fucking now? Well, yeah, I could still run atop the ceiling because at least it provides an opening this time to reach the pipe, but there's still coins right in front of the pipe. You can't avoid them either. If you go through this slight gap, you're forced to pick up at least one coin because it's so close to the pipe and you have to be on the ground to use it. And this isn't just any old pipe, this one leads you straight to Final Bowser. Well shit, I tried taking all the other pipes in the stage to see if there was another way into the final room, but none of them worked. Nope, not even the one guarded by Lakitu, or even the one that's level with the ground. Only this one would work, but it's right after the fake Bowser and it takes you back to the start of the level. I also tried to see if there was a secret area way past this pipe here, but it just didn't happen. As a last resort, I tried once again to glitch my way through either the pipe or the wall, remembering that Happy Lee also pulled off a very peculiar wrong board glitch in World 5-2 by glitching into a pipe that presumably isn't supposed to do anything. But again, no matter what I tried, for how long I sat there jumping against either or, I couldn't get Ouija to pass through. Stupidly, right before the final battle, he's forced to pick up one coin, and only then is he allowed to put Bowser away and rescue the princess. And thus, our bonus quest ends on a sour note, because now I have to report the shocking revelation that, no, it is not possible to beat Worlds A through D of the Lost Levels without collecting any coins. It pains me so much to say this because of how stupidly close we got to the end before getting stopped dead in our tracks. Especially after all the tricks we had to pull off to get here in the first place. But as it stands, I couldn't figure out a way to avoid that one coin, and I have a sneaky suspicion that I'd have to possess the knowledge of a tool-assisted speedrunner to crack this mystery. Or who knows, maybe one day we'll discover a game-breaking glitch akin to the credits warp in both Mario 3 and Mario World that allows us to skip to either that final room in World D4 or perhaps straight to the credits. I mean, if you can manipulate X and Y coordinates to turn Mario World into something like Pong or fucking Snake, then the sky's the limit on what we can accomplish in the Lost Levels. Hey, a Galaxy Nut can dream, right? Well, just hold that thought, because after I ground out these coinless runs, I revisited both these quests to find out just how few points I could finish the game with. Unlike in Mario 1, the point system in the Lost Levels is a lot more obscure and complex than I would have ever guessed, and during those experimentation sessions, I discovered a quirk in the point structure that just blew my mind. Unfortunately, all my findings are a mouthful to stuff into one mega video, so stay tuned for a future video in which I'll reveal the truly game-breaking secrets hidden in Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. In the meantime, why don't you slap that like button and share this video with your friends if you're into these challenge videos. It really helps me out a lot. If you haven't subscribed yet, then what are you waiting for, silly goose? Also, if you want to see these videos before I publish them onto YouTube, consider pledging a monthly tip on Patreon because you get some wicked cool perks in return. It's like eBay. Get it? Got it? Good. Okay, you're probably really busy at the moment, but please check out one of these videos right here. Okay, thanks, bye.